Yes, guys. So, as promised in the first video in this new Object Pascal series, we are going to get into Castle Game Engine. But to do that, we actually need to install the software. So, I'm going to open up browser. We're going to do a quick search for Castle Game Engine. Download. I've searched for this before. So, if you go here to the download section, you will see different versions. You want to download the Linux version. This will take some time to download because it's about a gig. All right, it's finished for me. So this should go to your downloads directory. So it is right here. I'm going to open up a terminal. I'm actually going to do the work in the terminal. So on your machines, I'll user directory. I want you to create a directory called apps. Type in make to make directory. I'm going to get an error here because I already have a directory created, but you should not if you do not have it already created. So we're going to go to the downloads and we're going to move that file. Remember, you can just type in the first couple letters of the name of the file and then press tab to complete. And then we're going to move it to home in the apps directory, the home directory of the user that I'm using. Then go back to the home directory. We're going to cd into apps and we're going to unzip this file. It takes a little while to unzip, but it's finished. Now you can remove the zip file because you don't need it anymore, and you can cd into the directory that it unzipped. Clear the screen. In the bin, we have the game engine. With the screen cleared, if you do an ls here, there's the bin directory, so we're going to into the bin directory. And if you do an ls in here, you can type Castle editor. Starts the program. You can start your new project, but we'll do that in other videos. You can actually open up some of the examples. Click on examples here, 2D games. There's a platformer in here as an example, and we're going to open this file. Okay, so there's a platformer. If you compile and run this, and there's a lot of files here, so this might take a minute. This is the compiled game. That was the example, and you can actually see in here the different views for the game. Here's the gameplay that we just now saw. So if I double click on this, it'll actually bring up what the gameplay looks like and all the assets related to the game. We could quit this and run editor again and open up another example, say 3D example. I'm not going to compile this one because it's just going to take too long, but if I click on one of these views, you'll see what the gameplay looks like here when you start up the game, and the individual assets like this skeleton enemy, which I can move around. I'm going to say no because I did move the skeleton, but I don't want to change it. I'm quitting the program. All right, so that's all well and good, but ideally we don't want to have to go to the terminal every time we want to run the editor. So we're going to create an icon. That's the last thing we'll do in this video. So let me actually clean up here. I don't need that or that. So when we click here, we'll be able to search for the icon. So all these icons in the dash are controlled by just files on your operating system, as you might expect. So I'm going to cd back to the home directory. And if you cd into local and then cd into share and then into applications, this is where all the icons that you want to define are. So you can see that's where Lazarus is installed. So if we type in gedit, and we're going to create a new one called Castle Engine.desktop. All right, so the way that these files are defined, but the version, there's going to be 1.0, the type, which is an application, the name, which is going to be Castle Game, the comment, which is develop cross-platform games and applications. The executable path is just what we saw before. So if you go back over to the terminal, if you've forgotten, let me open up another cd, it's apps, and then Castle, and then bin. So if we do it here, this is the path of the game. So I'm going to copy this, go back over the gedit and paste it here. And remember the name of the file, that the program is Castle Editor. You also need to define an icon and tell it where it is. So I'm going to use the same path, except for I'm going to put it in the main directory. However, that's not where it is right now. So we're going to go back here, and there is a icon here, but it's in the documents. So if we cd into documents, then pass doc, and then logo, this is where the icon is. This is what we're going to copy to the main Castle directory. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say copy Castle PNG, and we're going to copy it to apps Castle. All right, so if we back and then go back, I'm going to clear the screen here. That's where it is now. So I'm going to copy this name, go back to, that's the name of the app. I'm going to say it's not going to run on the terminal. So terminal is going to be equal to false. In the categories is the last thing. To the development tool, and it's in IDE, and this needs to end with a semicolon as well. And this is spelled wrong, so EXEC for execute. That's why it wasn't highlighted in yellow like everything else. All right, so assuming we don't have any typos here, we can save this file and close out the terminal. And if we do a search now, give it a second. All right, so you might want to give it a moment. Oh, actually, you know what? There's one. I just closed this out, but actually I want to go back in there. This should say at the top, desktop entry. And we're going to save this again. We're going to give it a moment before you can search for it. And there it is. So I'm going to move it down here and don't need a terminal anymore. All right, so now we can just click on the icon and the dash down here to start it. All right, so that's the end of this video. In the coming videos, we will start to actually use the engine. All right, see you in the next one.